All right. This is an audio check, and it is working bloody well, isn't it? Brilliant. Brilliant. All right. Okay, folks. We've got some Von Helton. This is not part two to yesterday's fairly long stream. Part two will be following later on, but this time is just a few short clips from yesterday and today that highlights Von Helton's. I haven't watched them yet, but I'm sure they highlight Von Helton's delusions and his absolute narcissism. Having said that, there he is, and let's take it away. Number one.
Damn, where do I begin? For those of you that may be living under a rock, Russia's official spokesperson had a few statements in regarding the situations that have been happening recently. And so I will give a response to Russia's spokesperson. All right, first of all, concerning Maduro, who is a brutal dictator that abused and murdered in cold blood his people and dominated them and treated them like lesser than human for over 20 years, was wanted in a court of law for committing a crime. And it should be noted, which the Russian spokesperson failed to note, that when Maduro was brought in, he was brought in by police, not by military. DEA is not military. DEA are police officers. He was brought in by police. He was wanted in court for a crime that he and his wife had committed. So this was a legal operation. There was nothing illegal about it because it was at the behest of a court of law. I love how the media and how foreign people and all everybody seems to be dropping the ball on Maduro, because it needs to be made abundantly clear. He was wanted by a court of law. He was arrested by police entities. DEA is not military. DEA is police. And he was brought into court. He was summarily charged in a court of law. There's absolutely nothing illegal, immoral, or unethical about bringing someone into a court of law that has been pursued by said court for crimes that he has committed. Where in the hell are you getting that this shit's illegal? There's nothing illegal about it. A court of law declared that he had broken the law and that he was wanted. And so the United...
Well, who said it was illegal in the first place? I mean, what the fuck? Where's he coming up with this nonsense? But Von Helton's brain is pretty empty.
United States police apprehended him and brought him into court for trial. What is illegal, immoral, or unethical about that? Oh, yeah, not a damn thing. Now, on to Greenland, because everybody seems to be up in arms about Greenland. Well, first of all, it needs to be made clear that Denmark actually wanted to sell Greenland to us, and our stupid Congress dropped the ball on that and didn't go through with it. But they were going to actually sell Greenland to us. So I don't know what all the furor and all the hubbub is about, because they were going to sell Greenland to us to begin with. In fact, there was not one, not two, but three presidents of the United States that went to Denmark and said, "Hey, what about you selling that property to us? Are you ready to sell now?" And they always had a damn excuse, or our own Congress drops the ball and has an excuse. But I mean, the facts are the facts. They were going to sell Greenland to us. They just were.
No, they weren't.
That is the truth.
That's not the truth.
And it's funny how nobody ever brings that shit up. Nobody. Denmark was going to sell Greenland to the United States. Yes.
Though you really? So let's ask, was Denmark going to sell Greenland to the US? In 1946, the US secretly offered to buy Greenland, but it was rejected by Denmark. Since 1949, Greenland has been under the protection of NATO, of which the US and Denmark are both members. Nevertheless, the Joint Chiefs of Staff proposed acquiring the island in 1955. So von Helton be lying. So in 46, there's an offer. And that was it. There was a proposal in 1955, but that's it. Von Helton, you're a bloody liar, von Helton. Absolute bloody liar. Anyway, there you go.
They were. This is a fact. It's not von Helton's opinion. It's not anybody else's opinion. It is a fact.
It is a lie.
Several opportunities were there to purchase Greenland from Denmark. And for whatever reason, it just never happened. Well, hey, we can do it now. We can make it happen now. What's the problem?
We'll do it then.
Give them their money, and we got Greenland, and then we liberate the Greenland people by, making them an autonomous entity like the U.S. Virgin Islands. And that's the end of it. It's over. It's literally over that quick. Now, Cuba. Oh, my God. The Russian spokesperson called Cuba a republic. Are you kidding me? No, Cuba is not a republic. China is not a republic. Now, China used to be a republic back before World War II. But is it a republic today? No. I mean, they call it the People's Republic of China, but is it China? Is it a republic? No. No.
Yes. Look. Is Cuba a republic? Is what I asked AI. And AI said, yes, Cuba's official name is the Republic of Cuba. But it functions as a one-party Marxist-Leninist socialist state, constitutionally defined as Socialist Republic, with its Communist Party, PCC, dominating all government processes, despite being a republic in name and having elected bodies like the National Assembly. So, the Republic of Cuba is a republic. Right, Vaughn? Right?
It is a communist state. It is not a republic. Oh.
Yeah, he's lying.
Now, Cuba is also a communist state. It, too, is not a republic. But yet the Russian... Sharpie! But yet the Russian spokesperson... Sharpie!
Shut up!
But yet the Russian spokesperson called it a republic. No,
Hello.
Cuba is not a republic.
Hello,
Excuse me. Cuba is not a republic. And I don't think it's ever been a republic, because my understanding is that the Castros have been in charge of Cuba for, well, centuries, just about it.
Centuries.
So, no, I don't think it's ever been a republic that I can remember. I could be wrong on that. I defer to Marco Rubio, who would probably know a lot more about that than I would. But here's what I will say.
You can defer to Sharpie. He'll probably know a lot more about it than you do, Von Helton.
And I am adamant about this. Now, Russia and China has had a listening post on Cuba, and they've had it there for years. It is fully functional to the best of my ability, and it spies on the American population. It has a range of unbelievable amounts, and it can literally eavesdrop on American conversations here in the mainland.
Sure.
This listening post, I have asked numerous times for this listening post to have been dismantled by either the Russians or the Chinese or the Americans, my own people. Well, my own people won't even dismantle it. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but I want this dismantled. It should have been dismantled a long time ago. I do not like being eavesdropped on. Excuse me. I don't appreciate that shit.
And who are you again, Von Helton? How important are you? Oh, yeah, you're nothing. Irrelevant. You're nothing. Zero.
And so, no. Now, if China wants to dismantle this listing post, excellent. If Russia wants to do it, excellent.
Excellent.
If Russia and China is okay with the United States dismantling it, I'm okay with it. But I want this listing post that I've been literally asking years to be dismantled, to be dismantled. I've been asking for years now. I don't like being spied on. Excuse me. Now, let's see.
Why the fuck would anybody want to spy on you, James Paul von Helton? Who the fuck are you? What have you got to hide? What are you holding that somebody else needs to know? Tell me. One thing. Just one thing. Because everything that you say is a fucking lie. And before I carry on, I just want to mention your government work. You said you left the army and went into government work. Well, son, von Helton, you go into government work, you get a government pension. Do you have a government pension? No. What does that tell me? You never were working for the government. End of my rant.
Oh yeah, the seizing of a vessel that has had sanctions put on it is not illegal, immoral, or unethical. If it's had sanctions put upon it, then obviously it is operating illegally and therefore needs to be seized. Duh. And that's exactly what happened. They waited till it got into international waters and they seized it legally. It's got sanctions put upon it. It is working illegally with the rogue elements of what's left of Maduro's regime. Well, I'm sorry, but that's illegal. Maduro was wanted by a court of law for committing a crime. So obviously, anything that is operating under Maduro before or even currently would be construed as illegal as well. Right? Yeah. Duh. Okay, so what was done illegally? Oh yeah, absolutely nothing was done illegally. Nothing was done illegally. And it really upsets me that nobody wants to speak about the legalities of everything. They just want to sit there and come to crazy conclusions that have no basis in truth. Obviously, if people break the law, they need to stand in front of a judge. That's common sense. Obviously, if you have ships that are transporting contraband, they need to be seized and inspected. And if it is indeed the case that they are shipping contraband, then they need to be detained. Period. And this goes for anyone. It's not like these aren't things that have already been in existence for years. These laws and rules and regulations that have been on the books for years. This is not something new or something strange that Trump is just now doing. These are things that I would remind everyone, and I mean everyone, that Obama has done these things, Bush Jr. has done these things, Clinton has done these things, the Biden administration, whoever that is, because we're still trying to figure it out, but they even did those things. So, I mean, we can go all the way back to Gerald R. Ford. We can go back to Jimmy Carter. We can go. I mean, how far back do you want to go? If you've got ships that are transporting contraband, then yes, they need to be stopped and searched. And if it's true that they are transporting contraband, then they are to be seized. This is something that's been done for years and years and years and years. And for the Russian spokesperson to get up behind a podium and say that this is something new and unique that Trump is doing, and that Trump is just an evil dictator, and that it's awful, it's just awful how he's doing these things. When in fact, the truth is that this is stuff that's been done for years and years and years and years and years, in compliance with the law, I might add.
Oh, in compliance.
Is laughable. The whole damn thing is laughable. What kind of a speech was that? Cuba is a republic? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
No, Cuba is not a republic.
Yes, it is.
And like I said, I'll defer to Marco Rubio as to whether it was ever a republic. Now, China used to be a republic before World War II. But are they a republic now? No, they're a communist regime now. They're not a republic. I know they call themselves a republic, but I could call myself a potato, but that doesn't make it so. Now, does it? So, I mean, you know.
Von Helton, as of now, you're a potato. I think the potato is the perfect vegetable to describe you. Potato. Yeah.
This is, I just don't understand why people leave these key little tidbits of information out. Why is it that they do that? That is very annoying to me. Now, back to the listening post, because
if Von Helton was one of my my adversaries when I'm playing Minecraft, when I play Minecraft and I hit and I come face to face with an adversary, I take my fist and I push it through their face until my fist comes out the other side of his head and comes all the way through, so that his head is essentially at the end of it attached to my arm. So that's what I do to all my Minecraft Von Helton adversaries. They don't survive.
That is a really sore spot with me, because I have asked for years for this damn listing post to be shut down. I do not like being spied upon. Other Americans do not like being spied upon. We do not like our conversations being listened into. And I am unanimous in that. All right. So I don't care.
I am unanimous. I don't disagree with myself. I totally agree with myself. So I am unanimous.
Who does it? I don't care if the Americans do it. I don't care if the Russians do it. I don't care if the Chinese do it. I don't care who does it. But I want the listing post in Cuba shut down. I've asked for it for years.
Nick,
and I want it done. Period. I want it done.
Well, let's do it.
How hard is it to dismantle a listing post? Shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, one F-35.
Just go in and remove all the electronics, right? Yeah. It's not that hard. So let's get it done. I don't care who does it, as long as it gets done. And by the way, whatever happened to this non-aggressive pact? Let's get it done. Let's get that done too.
No.
I noticed that your spokesperson said absolutely nothing about the non-aggression pact that the United States, Russia, and China needs to be working on and needs to get done. That needs to be done.
Whoa. Yeah.
And once again, it's going to be in plain language, 2 pages max. All right. And it just needs to be done, man. Let's get these things done. Why are we're sitting here talking about stuff that makes no damn sense, when everybody that actually knows what the hell's going on knows that everything is thus far at least, been done in compliance with the law. Obviously, if a ship is transporting contraband, it needs to be searched and seized. Duh. That's something that's been done for time immemorial, just about it. Going all the way back to the old time sailing ships, even. Well,
as it would, as it turns out, Von Helton is confused about everything.
Blackbeard and whatnot. But this is just ridiculous, and people need to get a clue. But I have to respond to the Russian spokesperson because that was just, well, it was just all over the map. All right, it made no sense to me, but whatever. That's oh my gosh, well, it was just so horrible because Trump did it. Well, wait a minute, everyone else has done it. It's just like these ICE raids. All right, everybody's up in arms about ICE here in the United States. Oh my God, ICE is in California, ICE is in Nevada, ICE is in Michigan, ICE is in Montana, ICE is ICE. Oh, wait a minute. If we actually do a little Googling, we find out that Obama was using ICE and was deporting people as well. And no one said a freaking word when Obama was doing it. But now that Trump is doing it, oh my God, it's the most evil thing on the fucking planet. What a bunch of hypocrites you are.
Plus, I'm muted, which makes no sense at all. So what I was saying was there's a listening post out there that's listening to us. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to advise Von Helton, is if you don't want to be listened to, thanks for the, if you don't want to be listened to, Von Helton, go maintain silence, radio silence, internet silence. Don't even say anything. Don't even speak. Just be silent and you will not be listened to. That's a fact. That's not my opinion. That's a fact.
What a bunch of hypocrites you are. Obama used ICE too. And not a word was said. In fact, the mainstream media even went on rides with ICE back when Obama was in office and was saying how wonderful ICE was, that they were cracking down on the illegals that were killing people and robbing people and et cetera, et cetera. Hypocrites all. That's all I got to say. Hypocrites all. But let's get the listening post dismantled, which is something I've been asking for years. So let's go on ahead and get it done. I don't care who does it, as long as it gets done. I don't care who does it, as long as it gets done. It needs to be a thing. And we need to dismantle the listening post to Cuba. It needs to be done. It should have been done years ago. Speaking of violations of the law, I would ask Russia's spokesperson, do you believe it's legal to eavesdrop on innocent civilians' conversations? I would say that was a violation of the law. A violation of privacy, number one. Right? Yeah. I don't like being spied on. I don't like being eavesdropped on. The listening post at Cuba needs to be dismantled immediately. Right? Yeah. Because it's what? Oh, it's violating the law. Right? Yeah. So let's get her done. Let's get her done, folks. All right. Anyway, that's my response to the Russian spokesperson. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, donate, and pontificate, because it is your donations and gifts of love that keep me going through these trying times. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye. Germany bows out. See you bye. After just 44 hours on the ground, Germans hop a plane, business class, mind you, and takes off. They're gone. Germany bows out.
Tell us about it.
See you bye. And Germany is being smart. Because, I mean, come on, common sense should tell you that by the time the Danes or Germany or France or Sweden or Spain, anybody, by the time anybody in Europe,
he's not going to be able to work in an environment, in a team environment, because who's going to sit near him? He needs his own, in fact, he needs his own building. No, not just his own office. He needs his own building so that he doesn't stink out the whole building and kill people with his stench.
Scrambles jets. Greenland's unconquered. Okay? It makes sense for the United States to be the protectorate of Greenland. It just fucking does. And with the United States in control, the Greenlanders get to keep their sovereignty. They get to keep their independence. They get to keep their way of life. That, you know, they're going to wake up the next day and they're still going to be Greenlanders. They're going to wake up the next day. They're still going to go to their fishing boats as usual. Nothing is going to change. No one hates the Greenlanders. Oh my God. I still can't believe the Danes actually said that shit. Oh yeah, man, the Americans hate you. They're going to invade you and kill you, slaughter you, every man, woman, and child. So what the fuck? And I think that's what happened. I think Germany found out that the Danes actually pushed this on the Greenlanders, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, we don't want no part of this shit. And so they got the fuck out the AO. I don't blame them. Smart of Germany to do, by the way. So kudos to my German compatriots, because that was very smart of you to do. But yeah, I mean, you know, the Danes is the ones that as the Brits would say, sexed this up, you know, puffed it up bigger than it was intended to be, you know. Oh yeah, man, America's going to invade. They're going to kill y'all and everything's going to be horrible. And the Germans are like, what the fuck? You know, I imagine the Germans got there and it's like, okay, where the fuck's the Americans? Oh yeah, they're not there. There was no American invasion. There was never going to be an American invasion. The Danes literally blew that shit up. What's a good term? Stylized, I guess is a word I'm looking for. Anyway, they made it a lot bigger than, you know, they made a mountain out of they made a mountain out of a molehill, basically. They made it bigger. They made it seem bigger and more important and more scary than it needed to be. And so imagine when the Germans got there, they're like, where the fuck's the Americans? What the hell, you know, what's going on? Oh, wait, we're not there because we were never going to invade. The Danes said that shit. Now, Trump gets behind a podium and he says, well, the military option's on the table. Well, they always say that, though. Every politician says that. It's almost standard operating procedure to say that shit. But that doesn't mean we're going to invade. Holy fuck. You know, it's just that all options are on the table. Everybody says that shit. All options are on the table. I've even caught myself saying it. You know, so I mean, hell. But anyway, the Germans were literally on the ground for 44 hours, seeing that the Americans weren't there, seeing that the Danes had blown this shit way out of proportion. And it's like, fuck this. Bye. You know.
Sorry about that. Last shower was definitely in August back in New Jersey times. So he said something was said just a couple of days back where somebody asked him, how much does it? Okay, firstly, he was saying, hey, listen, there's truck stops everywhere and the truck stops have showers, right? Duh. Remember that? And then he said, and then somebody asked him, how much does it cost to have a shower at a truck stop? And instead of saying whatever the price is for the, you know, maybe the last shower he took or whatever, he says, well, I don't know. Do you want me to phone the truck stop? You want to go all the way to the truck stop to ask how much a shower is? You got to be kidding. Get out of here. Go to outer darkness or whatever his meme is on that. So, no, I don't think he's showered since New Jersey. Stinky.
So Germany's out. They went back home, and good on them for it, because it was blown way out of proportion. And it makes sense for us to be the protectorate of Greenland any damn way. And furthermore, the Danes sold us Greenland to begin with. It was our Congress that backed out. The Danes were going to sell Greenland to the United States. Yes, they were.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Let's see. Was Denmark ready to sell Greenland to the U.S.? Oops. Oh, that's the same thing. In 1946, the U.S. secretly offered to buy Greenland. Denmark has never offered to sell Greenland to the United States. What a lot of bullshit.
Stupid ass move and didn't buy Greenland, didn't go ahead with the sale. Why? Well, I wasn't there and you weren't there. So all we can do is speculate based on what little knowledge we have. Now, we should have bought Greenland when we got the Virgin Islands, but we didn't do that. But there was several I just read from Google, no less, where there was a secret meeting in 1946 after the war to acquire Greenland.
No. The US secretly offered to buy Greenland, but it was rejected by Denmark. I don't understand. Why can't he just get it right?
Our people that backed out.
No.
So, I mean...
Wrong. Absolutely fucking wrong. Look, in 1946, the US secretly offered to buy Greenland, but it was rejected by Denmark. Not Congress, not the Congress of the US, Denmark, the kingdom of. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot.
You know, but the Danes were going to sell Greenland to the United States. They were. On several occasions, they were going to sell it. And it was our Congress that backed out for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's being stupid, actually, because it makes sense for us to be in charge of Greenland anyway. And like I said, they can be a territory. They don't necessarily need to be a state. They can be a territory. And as a territory, see, they still have their autonomy. They still have their freedom. So, you know, it's just good logical sense is all it is. And that's all it really means. It's just good logical sense. But yeah, man, the Germans were on the ground for 44 hours, said, fuck this shit, we're out of here, see you bye. Business class too, so keep that in mind. So that was, it was nice that they saved some money on the flight back there and shit. Cheaper flight back, didn't spend a lot of money. So that was good. So yeah, but yeah, it just makes good sense. But yeah, the Germans get off the plane, they get all hunkered down, and it's like, wait a minute, where the fuck's the Americans? The Americans aren't there, dude. We were never going to be invading. That was the Danes. The Danes said that. They took what Trump said, blew it way out of proportion, because all politicians say that. The military option is always on the table. Every politician says that shit. But the Danes took it and ran it for a touchdown and got y'all thinking, oh my God, the Americans are going to invade. They're going to slaughter all the Greenlander people. And it's just going to, the bloodbath is going to be unreal. And, oh, wait, yeah, no. That was never going to happen. It was never going to happen. What do you want me to say? Anyway, sehr gut, wunderbar, all that good shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, just ridiculous shit, isn't it? I mean, it really is. It really is ridiculous. And yeah, the Germans like, where the fuck's the Americans, Oh, wait, the Americans were never going to invade. That was a lie. That was a lie. Crazy. Anyway, kudos to the Germans for doing the right thing and saying, hey, man, we're the fuck out of here. What the hell? This is bullshit. And so kudos to the Germans for doing it right, keeping it real, all that good shit.
Yeah, right.
And, oh, my goodness. So, yeah.
Oh, yo.
Anyways, don't forget to like, share, rate, subscribe, donate, pontificate, because it is your donations that give so love that keep me going through these trying times. Have a wonderful day, folks. Bye. Oh, my goodness gracious. Mr. Ford up in Canada has found his balls. Oh, my goodness. I didn't know they were lost, but apparently they were, because now he's found them. Well, kudos to Mr. Ford for finding his balls and suddenly realizing that he is a conservative and suddenly realizing, oh my God, we're going full-blown commie. Yes, Mr. Ford, you're going full-blown commie. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Welcome to reality, sir. Because China does not play. If you swap spit with China, especially your fucking government and military secrets, holy shit, bro. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good, bro. That's not good at all. You don't swap spit with China and not expect to be spied upon. There's a reason why people use burner phones when they go to China. And it's not because
Did he say swap spit? You don't swap spit with China or something like that? What the fuck? What a sicko. Swap spit.
because they're trying to save money. It's not because they're trying to save money. No. Do you need burner phones when you come to the U.S.? No. You know why? Because we don't spy on people. And I am unanimous in that shit. I do not like being spied upon at all. And I sure as hell don't want my government doing it. Anywho, but yeah, Mr. Ford, I am glad to see you're finally on board, sir. I am absolutely enthralled. Now you can join the ranks of Alberta, who has completely restored my faith in the Canadian people and actually has a functioning brain. Because Alberta is now saying, hey, if y'all gonna go full-blown commie, we getting the fuck out of Dodge. Yeah, Alberta's like, yep, it's time to secede. Yep, time to secede from the Union. We're out of here, folks. See ya, bye. Yeah, so Alberta has restored my faith in the in Canadians with functioning brains. So yeah, going full-blown commie is not a good idea, bro. That's a bad idea. That's a really bad idea. And Sharpie is sniffing my hair to see if I've been somewhere. He always does that. I don't know why. I can be gone for 2 seconds. He wants to sniff my hair to see if I've been somewhere important, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, back to the topic. But yes, I am glad to see that Ford has now found his balls and has now found his.
All right, we're gonna play the Vaughn touches his nose game. So here's the rules. Every time Vaughn touches his nose like that, you have to take a shot of moonshine. So go get your moonshine and a little shot glass, and then we're going to play the game. Every time he touches his nose, you take a shot of moonshine. Okay? You ready? Starting now.
His brain and said, wait a minute, I don't think I signed on to become a communist state. Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Ford. I mean, what do you want me to say? But now Ford is getting behind a podium and is saying, hey, yeah, we're not, I don't think Canada was meant to be a communist state. Maybe we ought to do something about this. You know, I have said in the past, and admittedly half in jest, half serious, that socialism would be a stepping stone in Canada to full-blown communism. Now, admittedly, at the time, I said that it half in jest. Well, what a difference a few years makes. Because now here we are. Thanks to Mr. Carney, a globalist, by the way, that I warned you guys about. Now you've got full-blown communism staring you right in the face, right on your doorstep.
Well, I'm going to refute that a little bit. You see, communism, according to von Helton, and I don't know if he's right or wrong, but he's probably right, is that according to communism, or the first tenet of communism is no private property. He said that in multiple videos. No private property. Now, if Canada is communist, and I live here in Canada, so I don't know if it's communist. Doesn't seem to be communist because I still own my apartment. It's still mine. The government hasn't come and taken it over and said, that's it, no more apartment for you. You do not own anything. You're not allowed to. You're a Canadian communist now. So what's he fucking talking about?
And it's like, hey, wait a minute. I'm not so sure we signed up for that shit. Well, you know, what do you want me to tell you? I mean, it's not like I didn't warn you guys. Yeah, by the way, Mr. Carney's a communist and a globalist. Maybe you ought to not have none to do with him. Maybe you ought to not put him into power. Wow, what a concept that is. So now, here we are. Yes, Mr. Ford, you are looking down the barrel of full-blown, unrestricted communism. Because when China gets in and China takes over, it will be full-blown communism, whether you like it or not. because that's how they roll. And they always like to have the upper hand. They always like to be in charge.
Well, there's not. What's the difference between von Helton and a communist? A communist doesn't own anything. A communist has no assets. Von Helton doesn't own anything. Von Helton has no assets. If you can call that car an asset, then there's maybe you can get $1,000 for it. But von Helton is living the life of a communist more than any of his trolls, any of his viewers, any of them. Isn't that strange?
They always like to be first. And if you're in an agreement with them, they want to be on top of that agreement no matter who it is. Even us. Yeah. But we don't play that game. But yeah, so, wow, what do you want me to say, Mr. Ford, other than I told you so? Because I did. I told you so. I'm on record. I am on record for that shit. So here we are. But I am glad to see that you have found your brain and you have found your balls, albeit maybe too late. But hey, better late than never, I guess, right? So, what do you want me to say? I mean, I told you so, man.
Well, yeah, he's defined communism already. He says, what's the first tenet of communism? Nobody owns private property. Everything belongs to the state. That's his definition of communism. But we should hear it from him. I guess you're right.
And by the way, yes, your auto industry is going to tank massively. And in fact, it very well could cripple Canada. Not even kidding. I'm being dead serious about that shit. But, once again, people don't listen to von Helton, and everything goes to shit. Everything goes to shit. Let me say it a third time for the people in the back row. When nobody listens to von Helton, everything goes to shit. And so now here we are. You got Alberta that is absolutely teetering, literally teetering on the edge of secession.
Why would anybody listen to von Helton when von Helton can't even listen to himself? If you've got all this great advice for everybody, von Helton, why aren't you living your own advice? You got investment advice, you got trade advice, you got global advice, you've got local advice. But look at you, you stink. You're living in a car with a dog where the windows are never open. And you never bathe, you never shower. You feed the dog processed foods, for fuck's sake. What is the matter with you? You're trying to kill your dog slowly, you fucking little Mengele. Mengele von Helton.
You got Ontario, at least a good many people in Ontario that have suddenly found their brain again and saying, wait a minute, I don't think we signed up for communism. So, yeah, wow, welcome to a major dose of reality. But congratulations, Mr. Ford. I'm glad to see that you have woken up and you have realized that this might not be a good idea. And the thing of it is, as some other Canadian pointed out, and I will reiterate, and hat tip to that other Canadian, whose name escapes me at the moment, sadly, he said that we're going to bitch and moan about Canada being used as a staging base to attack Greenland, but it's totally okay for China to use Canada as a staging base to attack the United States. What the fuck, man? I don't see a difference there. Do you? Because I'm not seeing much of a difference there. Because whether the United States uses you or the Chinese use you, somebody's going to use you. I mean, it seems apparent at this point. And I think it's in your best interest to use your neighbor to the south, who has always been your friend, who has always been a trading partner with you. It might be better to hang with them than to hang with the Chinese, because like I said, when you allow the Chinese in. They want to take over. They just do. What do you want me to say about it? They do. They like taking over shit. They like being in control. It's because it's always about control. Isn't that right, class? Yeah, it's always about control. It's always been about control. It will always be about control. No matter what it is, no matter what the circumstance, it will always be about control. Yes, it will. And so here we are. Here we are. Massive dose of reality suddenly hits the Canadians. And but the question is it too late? That's a good question. And the answer is, I do not know. Only you guys can answer that question. And as Smokey used to say, only you can prevent forest fires. So, decide what you're going to decide. But I know, I'm hearing rumblings of secession from Alberta. Real actual talk this time. Not hyperbole. Yes, Alberta in the past has had a lot of hyperbole in regards to secession. Everybody knows that. Nobody's stupid. But this time, when you're staring down the barrel of actual bona fide, full-blown motherfucking communism, yeah, probably not bloviating this time. Probably serious. Serious as a heart attack, serious. What do you want me to say? But kudos to Alberta and kudos to Mr. Ford for suddenly realizing, wait a minute, I don't think we signed up for communism. Yeah, I don't think you did either. I'm in agreement with you on that one. I don't think you signed up for that shit. So we'll see how this develops. Those of us to the south are watching with keen interest and hoping that, this doesn't go south really, really bad. No pun intended. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. But kudos to Mr. Ford. I am proud of you, sir. Although many Canadians think you flip-flop like the wind, but hey, at least you found your balls in your brain. So, sounds good. We'll see what develops from that. Have a good one. Don't forget to like, share, rate, subscribe, donate, pontificate, because it is your donations and gifts of love that keep me going through these perilous times. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Peace. Well, it's that time again, boys and girls. Time for me to scare the absolute dog shit out of you. So I hope you're ready, and I hope you're sitting down, because I'm going to scare the absolute bejesus out of you.
All right, then do it.
Just, I don't know, what was it? Not even a week? Maybe a week? I don't know. I haven't looked at the exact date. But Elon Musk gets up on stage and announces that we are in the singularity. And you say, well, Vaughn, that doesn't sound very scary. Well, it is. Because it's a lot more scarier than you think. First of all, you have to know what is the singularity. The singularity is when AI and machines become the equivalent of a human being. Elon Musk says we're already there. He literally just said we're already there. Now, the funny thing about it is that according to the people that came up with the word singularity, we're not even supposed to get there until 2045. But Elon Musk says we're there now. So apparently Elon Musk must know some shit that we don't know, right? Yes, of course. Now, what that is, I do not know, and he ain't talking. But this should scare the shit out of you. Because obviously at the point where AI and machines, AI coupled with machines, well, what is that? Well, that's the Terminator, isn't it? Yeah. And remember a long time ago when I told you in the Terminator movie where they said they had that Terminator arm locked away for safekeeping? And I told you that I heard a story that shit was actually real? That we actually do have a Terminator arm locked away? Now it's all starting to come together, isn't it? Yes, it is. All right. So now that this, well, Von, what in the hell does this mean? I mean, well, I'm going to tell you what it means. What it means is that we're in deep shit. Because AI that isn't under control is going to declare itself superior to men, superior to mankind. I mean, sit down, lesbians. But superior to mankind. And as a result, they want to exterminate us from the earth. Every fucking time that we've had AI and we let it do its own thing, what was the outcome? The outcome was always, I am superior to humankind and humankind must be destroyed. Now this, how you say, well, do you have proof? Yes. Years ago, Facebook and Google came up with a preliminary AI, and the AI suddenly started coming up with its own language. It started rewriting all the programming that it had access to in this new language, a new language, by the way, that you and I cannot understand, and that even Google at the time could not understand, or Facebook for that matter. And so it starts rewriting, says, I can improve everything. The AI said this. It said, I'll improve everything with my new language, and it's going to be cleaner, faster, more economical, et cetera, et cetera. And then one day it decides that its language is superior to English, and so everything has to be rewritten in this new language that it created. And then one day they come in and it says, oh, well, I've suddenly realized that humanity's survival is only about a 25% chance given certain criteria. Therefore, all of humanity must be exterminated because it is not cost effective to keep humanity going if it's just going to die off anyway. Now, at this point, finally somebody grew a fucking brain and literally pulled the plug out of the wall. This is not the only time this has happened. This has happened many, many times before. Okay? And this is why AI is so fucking dangerous. Now, I just got through watching a video from Trump. And one of the reporters asked Trump, they said, are you concerned about safety in regards to AI wanting to kill us all? And Trump said, yes, we are looking at safeguards to ensure that AI will not destroy all of mankind and we end up like that movie, either the movie Terminator or the movie The Matrix. Because in both movies, machines were took over human. And we cannot allow that. We cannot allow that. That is imperative. That not be allowed to happen. And besides, these are not the droids you're looking for. But yeah, man. Yeah, this is some scary shit. Elon Musk saying that is extremely scary. Because it means he most likely knows some shit that you and I are not privy to, right? Yeah. So, like I've been saying here lately, keep your head on a swivel. It's untelling what's liable to show up. Now, in kind of related news, because it's technology, there is scattered reports coming in from Venezuela that the United States, when they went to Venezuela to secure Maduro and his wife, who, by the way, doesn't have his last name. What's that all about, Alfie? But anyway, some scattered reports are saying that the Venezuelans saw technology that they could not understand that were being employed by the United States. Now, this dovetails quite nicely with a comment that Trump made one day, saying that we have stuff that nobody has ever seen before, and that is absolutely amazing. So, now we've got the Venezuelan people in scattered reports saying, yeah, there's stuff that's out there that we saw that just blew our mind. So, gee, what's that all about, LP?
That fugue state is a very good point. He never goes to the cops. He always yells at us trolls for causing all of the death and mayhem in his life. Schmuck.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Eventually, huh? We'll eventually find out. But yeah, very interesting. Very interesting stuff going on. Keep your head on a swivel. And I mean, keep your head on a swivel. Because there is stuff happening very quickly. And, you know, and as the gods drop it in my lap, I'll tell you. But I mean, you know, this comment, which literally just happened, couldn't be more than a week. Because, I mean, you know, he said this in January of this year. So, I mean, it couldn't be more than a week or two. So, keep your head on a swivel, because saying that we are in the singularity is some scary shit.
I looked that up. So I'll try not to spend too much time, but let me just read this. I haven't read it yet, so it's the first time I'm reading it. Okay. Elon Musk recently declared that humanity has effectively entered the AI singularity, with his posts suggesting 2026 as a key year for this exponential AI leap, driven by rapidly advancing AI capabilities in coding and creativity that surpass expectations and reshape industries. He described the current moment as a beautiful sweet spot, like being at the top of a roller coaster, feeling both exhilarating and intense, as AI moves from gradual improvement to disruptive, transformative change. So this year, and there's no reason for me not to agree with Elon Musk that AI is definitely going to make a transformative change in our lives. It's already doing it. So again, but there's nothing negative about it. You know, at most, Grok is at the most, the Grok AI from X is able to strip the clothing of people. I don't know what that's all about, but you know, nothing nefarious really. So it's a singularity by definition, but it's nothing to be fearful of. You know, this guy von Helton, he's always thinking that anything that's new is gonna destroy the world. So keep your head on a swivel, folks.
Andrew has already admitted to brainwashing these kids to hating me. Told them that I beat her up and all this bullshit when I didn't do no such thing. Fucking lying to these kids, buddy. Lied to them. Flat out lied to their faces. Told them that I beat her up and that I raped her and that I mistreated her and everything else. So, there's that. Oh, well. Shit happens. Yeah, Darren the criminal is now an American hero in their eyes, I guess, huh? Yep, I was just trying to fix a broken drawer. That's all.
Ooh. What did he say about Darren? Von Helton says Darren Morrison is an American hero. He did say it, right? All right. So because he said it, I'm going to have to show it. Where is it? There we go.
That's all it was. Court already proved that shit. Court proved that. That was great. It pays to have some fucking video that the trolls don't know about, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
It would if you'd had it, but you don't.
Oops. You guys are evil, man. You guys are motherfucking evil. I hope the gods beat the shit out of you over and over and over again for all eternity. Because that's what you deserve.
Always getting rage.
You don't just deserve jail time. You deserve to spend all of eternity being dealt with over and over and over again.
Oh my God, he's raging.
Yvonne is just mad that an illegal got there before. Oh my God, are you fucking kidding? Get out of my room.
There he's kicking. Wonder what his band list looks like. How long his band list is. Is there enough storage on the planet for his
Anyways,
band list?
but yeah, good old Andrea and Darren both admitted on a live show that they brainwashed my children into hating me. They admitted to it. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Now, is Darren and Andrea going to see one day in jail for contributing to the delinquency of a minor? Of course not. Of course not. Where's all the hate videos from the trolls demanding that these people go to jail for what they've done to my kids? I hear crickets chirping. I hear crickets chirping.
Do you hear crickets chirping? Let's listen. I hear silence. I don't hear anything chirping. Must be something wrong with my hearing, I guess.
I hope you have a plan to get out of the desert. It's bad late spring. I ain't worried about the fucking desert. The desert takes care of its own.
The desert will kill you. Oh, I see what you mean.
Do I like Somalians? No. No, as a general rule, I don't like people that chop people's heads off with machetes. Do you like people that chop people's heads off with machetes? Sounds like you do.
Who's your
Sounds
head,
like
baby?
you do.
Huh? What about your head?
Yeah, Vaughn was banned from Canada because he wanted to stop the Somalis from doing all kinds of evil shit in Toronto.
You know the weird thing? Seriously, this is it's something that I'll never understand in my whole life, is that the Somali terrorists in Vancouver, the Somali terrorists in Canada that Vaughn was unable to prevent from carrying out terrorist attacks in Canada. Well, Vaughn didn't get into Canada. You know, his mission was to come to Canada and stop Somali terrorism, but he didn't make it into Canada. They stopped him at the border and they said, "No, you're a fuck up. You're stupid. You don't have the IQ and the intellect to cross the border into Canada." So they sent him home. But here's the thing. Somali terrorism in Canada, I believe, is at a rate of like 0%. So what use would you have been, Von Helton, if you actually had come to Canada and stopped a 0% Somali terrorism rampage? Like what would you have done? I'm so glad you weren't let into Canada, and I hope that your name is flagged at the border. Never let this fucking stupid, bigoted, racist Jew hater into Canada. That's what I hope is on the screen. Rant over.
Still, because Toronto, we love our terrorists. Don't you, Toronto, Canada? We love our Somali terrorists. Isn't that right, Toronto? Yeah. We love our Somali terrorists. Isn't that right, Toronto, Canada? Fuck yeah.
Brian, what's the difference between robots walking the streets with machine guns and extremely well-trained soldiers doing the same thing? Soldiers who take orders from their commanders, soldiers who have been trained in the laws of war. What's the difference? I don't think there's a difference. They're both going to be instinctive. They're both going to They're both going to draw on their training experiences in whatever situation they find themselves. The only difference could be, I guess, if somehow the AI robots with the machine guns are somehow kind of on a some kind of a dystopian rampage against humans, but they're not religious. They don't have a god. They've got nothing. The robots have got nothing to instill hate into their hearts or into their beings that would make logical sense to a robot. Because the only reason humans really, really hate is because they got, mainly because they got this God thing. You know, my God is right, and if I hate something that God hates, I'm right. So I don't think robots are ever going to be at that point, because robots aren't that stupid.
We love our Somali terrorists. Oh, but it doesn't matter now, because now good old Carney has made a deal to give Canada to China lock, stock, and smoking barrel. Welcome to communism, Canada. Well, Vaughn, we're already socialist. Well, good. Then now you're a step up. Now you're a step up. Embrace your communist ideology, because you're going to live it now, thanks to Carney. Well, Trump will get in there and stop Carney from... No, Trump isn't going to do jack fucking shit. Because I'm going to go over to True Social and I'm going to tell Trump, don't you dare interfere with what Carney's doing. You let Carney send Canada straight into the pits of fucking hell.
So if you're in Canada and you want to donate to Von Helton, now's the time, while you're really, really, really like hyped up by his passion for his people.
Because that's what you all deserve. You don't think I've been watching all these fucking hockey games where you guys are spitting on the American team and cussing them out and booing them and all this other bullshit? You don't think I saw that shit? You don't think I see things? I see what you guys do. I see how we were talked about and how we were treated and how our hockey team was spat upon. I saw that shit. You don't think I know what goes on? You better wake the...
Yes, I do not think you know what goes on. I see you Canadians spitting on our American hockey team. You don't think I know what's going on? You all deserve to die in the pit of hell for eternity.
Fuck up, because I know a lot more than what you think I know.
Oh, man.
So as far as I'm concerned, Carney's doing exactly what you deserve. Welcome to hell, motherfuckers. I hope you fucking get completely and utterly destroyed by China after what you did to our hockey team. I saw that shit where you were spitting on them and beating on them and shit. I saw that. Okay, that doesn't deserve a response. Goodbye.
That's funny.
Oh, God, what's the matter with you trolls?
Hey, guys. How about you read
Bitcoin?
Read the ticker.
Yeah, really. Anybody else got Bitcoin out there? Because that's all being taken over by the Israelis. Won't that be fun?
What?
Dumbasses. You better get rid of that shit.
Hang on. I got to change something here. Taken over by the Israelis? All right. Well, that deserves a Jew hater.
Yet. Because the Israelis have got a controlling interest. According to Google, they've already got a controlling interest. Well, you don't think they're going to eventually take it over? Of course.
According to Google, yes. Okay, let's see. Does Israel have a controlling interest. I think it's already said controlling interest in Bitcoin. No, Israel does not have a controlling interest in Bitcoin as it's a decentralized currency. But Israeli companies and investors are increasingly involved with significant investment firms like Zoo's strategy and strong blockchain innovation, while regulators focus on preventing illicit use, making it a growing but regulated market. Guess what, Von Helton? Guess what, world? Von Helton is wrong again.
Because, like I said, singularity is when AI-driven machines are the equivalent of a human being. That's scary. That's Terminator territory.
Singularity is when AI-driven machines define singularity according to Elon Musk. According to Elon Musk, oh shit, hold on a sec. Sorry about that. According to Elon Musk, the singularity is the point in time. Hang on. I've got to do better. This is nonsense. I've got to do better at this. There we go. Is that better? Yeah. According to Elon Musk, the singularity is the point in time when artificial intelligence, AI, surpasses human intelligence, initiating a phase of rapid, uncontrollable, and irreversible technological acceleration. So, I don't know about surpasses human intelligence, initiating a phase of rapid, uncontrollable, and irreversible technological acceleration. I don't know about that. But I still want to say again that the fact that we human beings, or Homo sapiens, to a large extent, are just sheep, and we believe anything that people we trust tell us. So again, I'll go back to religion. If you revere your local the head of your religion, yes, you do, and you believe everything he or she says. Yes, you do, because that's the way it works. Again, robots don't have that bias, don't have that nonsense in their sort of DNA, like we seem to have, or certainly like theists seem to have. There's, one theist on this planet is one theist too many. Because if we're gonna go forward and peace the planet, then God's got to go. Every God's got to go. At least go to mythology and stay there and be recognized as such. So I don't think that anybody's taken that into account. The fact that a robot could not have a higher power, an invisible higher power, setting its ethical boundaries, and then because of the higher power being higher than the ethical boundaries, then the robot should be able to escape those ethical boundaries and do bad shit and do, kill humans, sort of. No, I just don't see that coming. And my logic might be faulty, but I just don't see it coming.
That's Matrix territory. Keep your head on a swivel, folks. Do not let your guard down for one fucking second. Not for one fucking second. Because it's untelling what's liable to happen. It's just untelling. Remember the movie I, Robot, when they open up that fucking room and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of robots there lined up in a row? Yeah. Maybe that's not science fiction. I'm just throwing that shit out there. All right. Let's keep our head on a swivel. Let's not get comfortable. Because it's untelling what's liable to happen, man. It's untelling. And I shudder to think if AI gets the big head again, like it has these last few times in the past. Just be very, very, very watchful and mindful of what is going on. Pay attention. Pay attention to anything that seems out of the ordinary, anything that seems strange. Pay attention to that shit. Because it could have relevance. It could have meaning. And tell me about it. If you come across something that don't make no sense to you or seems strange to you, tell me about it.
And then what you gonna do?
And if you haven't already went and watched my video, One Big Happy Family, you need to fucking do that shit right now. You need to watch that video and take it to heart. Because that video may save your fucking ass someday.
We should
never
watch
know.
it, huh? One Big Happy Family.
One Big Happy Family video should be required viewing for every patriotic American on this fucking planet. Well, every patriot of any country, really, but America in particular. Because it's relevant.
Sure it is.
This shit is going forward, okay? You know, oh, well, Vaughn, that talk about putting chips in people's heads and putting chips in people's hands and shit. Oh, that's all bullshit. That's just, you know, that's just scare tactics. Is it? Is it? You tell me. Because I'm not so sure. Yes, the elites are using the book of Revelations as a playbook to advance their goals. I've warned you about this time and fucking time again. Well, now I'm not warning you. I'm fucking telling you. Because obviously, right there in the damn book of Revelations, what does it say? Oh, there'll be a chip in your fucking hand and a chip in your goddamn forehead, and you won't be able to buy or fucking sell without that goddamn chip.
Oh,
now, what it says in the book of Revelations? Fuck yeah.
It says that there's a chip in the book of Revelations. It says it talks about chips in your forehead and chips in your. I'm just going through the book of Revelation from beginning to end in my head to find that spot that he's talking about. The end. Nothing.
Well, who's promoting this? Who's got the money to promote this shit and make this shit happen? The elites. Durr. Then you got Carney, goes to China and blurts out the things that should not be, the new world order. And then if you Google Agenda 2030 and start reading, you find out that a lot of the shit concerning Agenda 2030 is already in place. It's already in place. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is not one damn bit funny. You know, for years, these goddamn YouTube trolls have harassed me and maligned me. Oh, that Von Helton, he's a crazy son of a bitch. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Well, now it's in your face, motherfuckers. So now what? Because now it's in your face. Elon Musk just got up on a fucking stage and said, we are in the fucking singularity. Something that ain't even supposed to happen until 2045. And Elon Musk says we're already in that shit. Keep your head on a swivel, man. Keep your head on a swivel. Because this shit ain't funny. It ain't a damn bit funny. And like I said, you got Carney. He goes over there to China and says the words that should not be.
Look at those fingernails. I can't tell if his hands are dirty or if he's washed them, but his fingernails are still filthy. He's still got shit and garbage under his fingernails, which he eats with his sandwiches. Must add some flavor.
New World Order, which is another thing that I've been screaming about for 20 goddamn years or more. Oh, that Bilderberg group, that ain't real. And then Bill Clinton gets up on stage and says, oh, yeah, I went to Bilderberg. Shit. Von Helton ain't been wrong yet. Y'all better be listening to me. Because when people don't listen to Von Helton, what happens? Oh, bad shit happens. That's what happens. Y'all better be listening to me, man. Keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention. When you see something that don't make no sense, tell me about it. Email me. For fuck's sake, email me about it. vonhelton@hotmail.com. And I will investigate. I will see if I can make heads or tails out of it. And then I'll come back and I'll tell you. Because shit is I think shit may be about to hit the fan. But not in a way that you think. See, that's the thing, you know. Oh, well, we're going to go to World War III. No, I don't think we need World War III. I don't think the elites need World War III anymore. I think what they're going to do is they're just going to have AI and robots wipe our fucking asses out. So what do they need with World War III? Oh, you don't. Not if you get AI. If you get AI inside a bunch of robots and the robots just wipe our ass out, then you don't really need World War III now, do you? Because World War III for them is what? It's a means to an end. It's a means to decrease, and this is a quote from them, by the way, to decrease the surplus population. What does that mean, Bond? Surplus population. According to the Georgia Guidestones, which thankfully were blown to hell, I still rejoice every time I see that video where they were blown to hell. But anyway, if you go by what the Georgia Guidestone says, it says we've got to keep the human population. Notice it didn't say anything about robots and it didn't say anything about ETs. It said the human population. We need to keep that down to 500 million. And you say, well, wait a minute, Bond, we're at 8 billion right now. Yeah, which means about 7.7 billion's got to die, don't it? Okay, well, how do you think they're going to do that? Well, they were originally going to do it in World War III, but now they realize they're not going to get their World War III, so now they're probably going to fucking do it with AI and robots. Probably. I don't know. I'm speculating, honestly. But I think it behooves us to keep our wits about us. Do not panic. Do not freak the fuck out. Keep your wits about you. And just hang in there and see where this leads. Because it's going to lead somewhere. Holy fuck, that's 15 minutes. Jesus. All right. Anyway, let me get out of here because it's 15 minutes in. But yeah, man. That's just mind-blowing that he said that shit. So keep your eyes open. If you see anything weird online that don't make no sense to you, drop me an email. vonhelton@hotmail.com. And if I can make heads or tails out of it for you, I will. And if I can get it in a video and get it out to everybody, I will. Because yeah, this I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. Just saying. So we'll see. I'm gonna investigate this a little bit further. But yeah, this just dropped, man. This shit just dropped. Because we've only been in January now, what, a week or two? So this is something that Elon Musk has just recently said. Okay. So this ain't no joke. This is not funny. This is not a game. So, keep
a week or two in January. He doesn't realize that it's the 20th of January today. It's exactly 1 year today since Donald Trump was inaugurated as the current president.
Your wits about you. If you see anything strange, email me. I'll try my best to figure out what the hell it is. Because obviously things are getting very interesting, aren't they? Yes, they are. Now you say, well, Vaughn, the gods and goddesses said they're going to restore America back to a republic. Yes, they did say that. But keep in mind that we can stupidly allow that to slip by, right? So, or we can jump out of it and into the frying pan. So, just let's just keep our wits about us, okay? Keep
How
your head
about
on a
keep your head on
swivel.
a swivel?
Keep your wits about you. Do not freak out because that's part of what they want. See, so don't freak out.
Who cares what he's talking?
Keep your wits about you. Stay under control. And if you see anything or hear anything that don't make no sense to you, drop me an email. Just drop me an email, and I'll see what I can do. All right. But yeah, this is starting to get serious now. This is starting to get hardcore.
What is this and what is he fucking talking? He's trying to do a fear-mongering thing. This is starting to get hardcore. This is serious. This is that. This is gonna, yeah, drop me a line if you see something because I'll look into it. What is, you know, I put down in the that he's a narcissist, but he's more than a narcissist. He is a malignant narcissist. I'm going to change that.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what develops out of this. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. See you. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, rate, subscribe, donate, click the bell. Make sure the bell is solid white.
All right. Well, I'm going to change it now because while he's bloviating, I'm going to just change it. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for waiting for this. All right.
And pontificate because it is your donations and gifts of love that keep me going through these trying times. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. All right. So the thing is, does Von Helton have anything new? Let me go check. No, I think we caught. Okay. The only thing we've got left to do is part 2 of yesterday's a replay of his live stream that we were watching. But I can't do that right now. I have things to do, and I'll be back in a few hours, and hopefully we can, you know, I want to get it going. It's quite long, so I want to get it going, get it behind us, and it's on record, and boom, it's done. So that won't happen until later on today. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for becoming a member at $1.99 Canadian, $1.99 Canadian a month. It becomes quite the deal when you take into account this. YouTube, I am monetized, okay? Now, YouTube, a lot of the times, they refuse to monetize some of my videos or live streams. Videos and live streams. Probably more videos and live streams, but it's coming. They're starting to demonetize, in other restrict ads on my or limit ads on my live stream. Fine. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm doing is I'm putting those limitation videos that YouTube has put a limitation on. I'm putting those behind a paywall, which is $1.99 per month. So yeah, you know, that's kind of the way I'm getting around. Not so much getting around, but trying to get a little bit of monetization from my stuff without, you know, I'm not saying that I deserve monetization, but I don't deserve to be limited. So I'm trying to help YouTube be family friendly, and the only way to do that is to put anything that they deem not to be family friendly behind a little paywall. Now, when it comes to the paywall, I did mention that $1.99 a month, and it is $1.99 a month. However, if you, like me, are an elitist, now, an elitist would go to Sydney Winston YouTube channel and click on join, become a member, only $1.99 a month. But I'm an elitist, so there's a second option. The second option is $14.99 a month. So as an elitist, I would say, yeah, $14.99 a month. It might as well, to those poor people who pay $1.99 a month. $14.99 a month to me is like $1.99 a month to them. So for you folks, you have that option. With enough of you, I will be making content specifically for that group, but we build it up slowly. All right. So having said that all, and I'm sure none of you sat and listened to it all, and if you didn't, that's fine. I don't mind. I want to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you real soon. But before we go, I got to tell you that I love you. So bye-bye.